We are live. I'm sending this out to everybody now. Let's make sure everybody gets it. There we go. Perfect. So I am here, all right, by the graces of the Most High, because it's been a very busy day. And when I say busy, I mean it has been busy. From 4 a.m. this morning, I have been running. So it's good to finally be able to sit down. I'm breaking my fast. Okay, actually, I just broke my fast. Some good electrolytes for those of you who having a care. Some good electrolytes, some amino acids, things like that. And then I had a pile of cabbage. That's it. I'm going back to the fast. All right. So I did the dry fast. I'm going to drink this. Just kind of get some more hydration, and then I'm going back into a dry fast. So yeah, all I had was veggies. So for all of my clients, let me see who's all in here. Matika, Miranda. Okay, so yeah, most of y'all are clients in here right now. So just in case you're ever wondering, like, why he got us only eating vegetables today? Or why are my calories so low? You want to lose some fat? That's how you do it. Okay, you fast, you eat a pile of veggies, maybe some avocado or something. We out. That's it. So that's what I'm doing today. I did a 48-hour dry fast, had a little, nice size thing. I meant to put it on my story. I had a big pan of broccoli, went to another 24-hour dry fast, broke it today. I had cabbage, and actually I had some green beans with that. But that's it. A little water, I'm right back into it. So, because I got some cutting to do. Like I said, y'all know. Y'all saw the pictures. All right, I got some cutting to do. So I got to get down and make sure I get my body back. Then I can eat some carbs. It's all good. So I'm just kind of wasting time letting everybody get in, because I know some people are going to be behind. Traffic, all of that good stuff. Let me make sure I'm plugged in. Let's see. There we go. Perfect. All right, I didn't even have the microphone in. Y'all know I'm off my game today for real. So, probably sounds a little bit better now, right? Just a little bit. All right. I just, like I said, I've been running. So we're gonna get this microphone set up so you can hear me. All right. Good. All right. So for those of you who are wondering, we got a quick class today, and it's quick for a reason. I got a lot of you all who are bringing friends into the program. All right. A lot of you all who are fairly new, actually. And I want to make sure that I am catering to you all as usual. You know how I do it. So I'm making this quick because I got a lot of people I need to take through the onboarding process and get the pictures set up and get everything going. And I got some nutrition plans to make. I got some stuff I need to do. So I wanted to make this class to the point, nice and quick, and we out, okay? Because I want to make sure for those of you who are new and people who have been here for a while, you all know I try to get those nutrition plans and everything out as fast as possible. So I want to make sure that I'm still doing that. So we're going to get that done right after this class. So we're going to knock this thing out. Let's see, it's 6 minutes after. I think everybody who was coming is coming or is here already. So let's get started. All right, I'm going to share my screen. For those of you wondering, this is Mountain Valley water, just in case. I know somebody's going to ask me, what water are you drinking? All right, so I'm going to start this. Hold on, somebody's not mute. Make sure we're good there. Okay, I think I found you. Okay. Okay, good. Perfect. All right, let's start this thing up. So I am going to, I'm going to just keep it real with y'all. I'm rough. I'm running around. Today's been a long day. So if I slip up and, a curse word that usually doesn't come out of my mouth comes out or something, just know I'm tired. Just deal with me. All right. So we're about to start the slideshow. I want to make sure everybody's mute. Somebody's still not. Why is it not letting me mute this person? There we go. All right. I think we're good now. If for any reason you all can't hear me, just let me know. All right. So for those of you who don't know, everybody should know I'm a vegan trainer. All right. Today we are talking about basically grief coming from external events, because in many cases we don't create our own grief. In most cases, we get it from external events or external happenings. And what I want to teach you all here today is, one, how to cope with some of these external events. Two, how to put these events into compartments. I want you to be able to say, like, for instance, emotions should be scaled, if that makes sense. So I'll use me for an example. My mom passing was on like level 10. That should get all of my emotions, right? But my brother or a family member losing a job or getting locked up, not getting my emotions, right? That's kind of how I want to explain this thing. But there are some people who put all of those emotions in the same box. So some people, they lose a parent or friend. They're torn up, as they should be. But they lose a job or they can't pay a bill. They're torn up. Their family goes to jail or gets in trouble or something happens. They're torn up. So you got all of these things that are tearing you up because it's going to happen. Okay. So I want to teach, at least how to make them scale so you don't find yourself in certain situations all the time. Okay. Because it happens. So that spills over into increasing your EI. What is EI? That is emotional intelligence. Okay. Most people have heard of like the EQ or the IQ, which is an intelligent quotient. There's also a such thing called the EQ or the EI, which is emotional intelligence. So someone can be intelligent but be emotionally stupid, if you will. And vice versa. Some people can be not so intelligent but very emotionally savvy or intelligent. So that's what we're going to talk about today, just a little bit, because I know it's kind of, it's not pseudoscience, but it kind of is to a few people. So if you can, clear all distractions. And what I mean by that is just Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. All right. So why handling stress is important. Number one, many of you all don't know that fat gain doesn't just come from eating the wrong foods. It comes from emotions, right? It comes from stress by way of manipulating hormones. Most of you all have heard of cortisol, right? Now, what does cortisol do? In many cases, it turns on the fat storing hormones. Why is that? For this next, it's not the next one, it's the fourth one. Well, cortisol causes you to store fat cells. Why? Because the body needs more cells to store trauma and, of course, toxins. So if you don't have enough fat cells right now, or if your fat cells are already packed full with glucose, toxins, and whatever else trauma that you've dealt with, the body has to create more fat cells so it can store that trauma you're dealing with or that stress. This is why cortisol somewhat makes you a little fatter. It makes you store fat. Okay. So with that being said, you definitely want to make sure you're learning how to control stress. I can't tell anybody here not to stress or what not to stress about. We all have our ways of coping. I'll say that. So my goal here is just to teach you that fat gain can come from stress. If you didn't know that already. Okay. Aging. Most of you all are trying to age gracefully. Some of y'all ain't old enough yet. Some of y'all hadn't felt that aging process yet. So you're still playing out your youth. But when you hit like 28, 30, 35, 40, some of y'all take longer than others. I've seen it. But especially when you hit 40, that's when you start trying to reverse the time. It's just like, yeah, that's me. But seriously, stress can age you. And as a matter of fact, I really feel like stress is what actually killed my mom, to be honest. She stressed herself to death. Okay, she had a lot of stuff going on. Same thing. She's a woman, and women, you all are like the protectors and the nurturers and the angels of the family. So when somebody in the family is doing something that may be harmful to them, you start worrying about them. You stress for them, and that stress can break you down. And I really think that's what got my mom. So I wanted to make this class for that reason. I don't want you all stressing, all right? Or at least I want to teach you how to deal with it a little bit better. Ironically, my mom used to always tell us that no matter whether you stress or not, it's gonna happen anyway, right? So why would you put the stress on yourself as well? So, and I say it's ironic because she used to say that, but she never listened to her own words. So I want you all to take that and remember, if something is going to happen, the stress component that you're going through, it's not going to change it, right? So whether or not you stress, it's still going to go down. It's still going to happen. So just try to cut back on your stress. For those of you who didn't know, stress also causes sexual issues. Okay, facts. And now this can be the trauma that I'm telling you about that can be stored into your fat cells. This can cause sexual issues from that standpoint, and just from you mentally being stressed out and having, what do they call it? Performance anxiety, because you're stressed. It's a real thing. Ladies, it happens to you too. Okay, it's not just a fellas thing. It happens to both. Okay, you can have performance anxiety and or trauma from stress that causes you not to be able to have, I mean, ladies, y'all know more than anybody. I'm just not feeling like myself tonight. I'm not in the mood. That's how it works. Some of y'all like, I'm always in the mood. I see that face. But seriously though, a lot of times, many people, that's what happens. You're just not in the mood because you got so much stuff on your plate. And I'm not telling you that's a wrong thing. That makes sense. And of course, the sexual issues can be caused, and usually are caused, because of the hormone imbalance. So many of you all have hormone imbalance issues, and it's because stress, trauma, fat, and eating. Okay, and it all goes hand in hand. All goes hand in hand. Why? Because, all right, this is where it gets deep. All right, so this is just a quick little search that I did on the definition of fat being stored or fat storing toxins and trauma. Basically says when the body is exposed to large amounts of toxins, levels that the body cannot safely excrete through the body's natural detoxification pathways, meaning the liver, the kidneys, and of course the pancreas. When the body cannot filter through those organs that you see here, it stores the toxins in adipose tissue. What is adipose tissue? Body fat. Okay. Now, here's where we kind of break this thing down. So, of course, the liver, the kidney, the gallbladder, the colon, and they have small intestines, but I'm going to say the pancreas. Those are the ones that helps to filter out the toxins, because, of course, you can create your own toxins through stress. Remember that. But the toxins and or I want to say toxins / trauma should be and can be filtered through these organs. However, most of us are already compromised when it comes to this filtration process. So the organs aren't working as they should be. So you got all this stress and toxins and whatever else, because most of us are using, I talked about this to my clients. We talked about this today with the lotions and all the body butters and the Bed Bath and Beyonds and the cologne and perfume and all this stuff that we're putting on our skin. That's toxic as well. It seeps into your bloodstream and the body has to filter that stuff, right? So when you're already putting all that stuff on your skin and it's getting to your bloodstream, when you start stressing and you have other toxins and trauma going in, the liver, the spleen, the pancreas, all that stuff, it can't filter that stuff because it's already trying to filter Bed Bath and Beyond. Okay, it's already trying to filter the parabens from your shampoo. It's always already trying to filter just the air from outside, the chemtrails and all this other stuff, right? All of this stuff is creating a toxic environment. So what happens? You have what we call subcutaneous fat. If you smack your belly and it jiggles, that's subcutaneous fat, right? That's what that is. Now, that's usually going to be on the outside. That's the jiggly fat that usually looks like cellulite. You know, if you got cellulite, it's usually subcutaneous fat. That's what that is. Now, of course, this fat can store or does store toxins, but that's not the one we need to be worried about. The one we really need to be worried about is this fat that you see here, okay? The intra-abdominal fat. What is that one? This, in many cases, is what we call, or what's known to be, visceral fat. Visceral fat is the one that actually coats the organs. So you see it's around the organs. It's coating the liver. It's coated around the kidneys and the stomach and the small intestines. So what happens is all of our organs kind of pulsate like a heart does. It's organ too. And what happens is when you have a lot of visceral fat, it suffocates it. So your organ's trying to pump, but you got all this visceral fat around it. So the visceral fat is the actual problem. So we have heart attacks, strokes, things like that. That can play big roles in that issue. Okay, the intra-abdominal fat or visceral fat. Visceral fat is easier to say, so I just keep saying that. But both of these can be problems. Now, if you are really, really jiggly and you just got jiggly fat going on, we can get rid of that in no time. To my clients, you see, we knocking off 2, 3, 4 inches a week off your stomach. That's subcutaneous fat. That's the fat you should be able to gain quickly and lose quickly. Why? In nature, I always tell you all this. I use this as an example. In nature, we are supposed to be able to put on weight or store energy as fast as we need to. So if somebody, if we're in the jungle, I just use that, and somebody says, hey, there's a famine coming. We're about to have 40 days and 40 nights of snow, and nothing's going to grow. We're not going to be able to eat anything. You need to store some calories. Well, you should be able to eat right on the spot. Boom, boom, boom. We're going to eat for 3-4 days, and we're going to store weeks, 40 days, 40 nights worth of food. And what happens is you should be able to gain 10, maybe even 20 pounds of fat or energy, okay? Because it's just energy. You should be able to store that within a week. If you ate enough, of course. You got to eat a lot. But that's how it's supposed to be. So I'm talking to my skinny people who can eat whatever they want and not gain any weight. That's not necessarily healthy either, okay? So that makes so look, I always say this, I'm a born fat boy. And when I say that, that makes us fat people feel very well. It's like, y'all skinny people ain't healthy either. So no, don't be bragging that you can eat whatever you want to eat. You unhealthy too, which is true. It really is. You're not supposed to be in a point where you can eat whatever you want and never gain weight. Those people would die first in nature. You don't have much energy to go on if we go through a famine. So that's what we're talking about on that one. So let's get into one of my favorites, okay? Samples of emotions and their cravings. All right, this is something that many of you all have heard me talk about. I just wanted to put a few down. There's more than this. It's actually 6 total. 6 total. But once again, I was rushing. So like I said, I just put down some very, I would consider the most 3 important things that all of you all have dealt with and probably are dealing with, okay? Most of you all, you go to work, your boss doesn't appreciate you, all right? Or you're the boss, and the people who work for you don't appreciate you. Or you go home, and boyfriend, hubby, whomever, is either not there because you don't have one, or he just ain't doing shit right now, okay? He's just lazy. You get home, he playing the PlayStation. Whatever it is, he's not doing what he needs to do. Or she, this can go either way. These things are what makes you crave sugar, okay? It can even go into the family. You're working hard for the family. You're trying to make sure everybody's taken care of in your family. And guess what? They don't appreciate you. They take you for granted. Guess what? You're going to crave sugar. This is something we have to know. That way, when we're craving sugar, we can say, where am I not getting that love or that appreciation from? Because I'm craving some donuts right now, and somebody's about to make me sabotage my diet. But in many cases, we don't know this stuff, so we just go straight for the donuts. Why? Because it gives us that dopamine response that we're looking for. Because at the end of the day, we just want to be loved. If I could, I'd just give all of y'all a big hug. All right? Make you feel good so you stop craving sugar. Okay? All right? If I could, I would. I promise you I would. But in many cases, that's what we're looking for. We're just trying to get that dopamine response, and we usually get it by receiving love, okay? If somebody gives us a lot of money, that's a form of appreciation because it's like, man, I really appreciate the job you did. Here's a lot of money. So that once again, that's a dopamine response. Like, damn, I just got paid. You know how good you feel when even if you find $100 bill on the sidewalk, you know how good you feel when you find that $100? So this is the dopamine response that we're getting. You don't get that dopamine response, you crave sugar. So what's next? Excuse me. Mad, angry, or salty. Right? You're acting a little salty. And I put salty in there because, of course, when you're mad, angry, or salty, you crave salty foods. How ironic, right? Now, many of you all are going to have both of these. So you're going to have the angry or the salty cravings, and you're going to have the crunchy cravings. Okay, French fries, fried foods. So if you fry anything, it's usually going to be salty and crunchy, right? So we say potato chips, French fries. I didn't say potato chips. Chips, French fries, or other fried foods. Those are the three that most of us crave. And this is why I said I wanted to put these three up here because these are the most profound things. Okay. Now there's some other things, like I said, that work, with the emotions versus cravings, but these are the big three. So I just want you to know these and study your actions. Excuse me. Study your cravings. That's what I want you to say. Or that's what I wanted to say. Study your cravings. Why? Because your cravings will show you your emotions. You just got to know this, though. So if you're biting your nails, because I used to bite my nails a lot. If you find yourself doing this, stop and think, what the hell am I nervous about? What am I anxious about? And if you dig deep enough, you'll realize, like, man, I got a cookout I got to go to that's like a little family get together. And I'm nervous / anxious because I just went vegan. I just started this vegan diet. And I know my family going to talk shit when I get there about me being vegan. Right? So now you buy your nails, or the night before you're going to get some chips or some fried food. Most of y'all. And look, it even works with veganism. So I've seen people, some of my clients, they're like, man, I'm craving fried cauliflower wings. Same thing, crunchy and salty. All right. So just because it's vegan and it's cauliflower doesn't mean you're exempt from this whole thing. You're still nervous and you're still craving salty and crunchy foods. And that's how it works. And this is why I wanted to make this whole thing for you, because there are events just like that. Some of you all have work events. Man, I got to go. There's this dinner for work. It's like, just a little dinner meeting. But I got to do it for my boss, or I'm the boss. So I got to make this business move, because if I don't, I might lose a little money or a little business. But I'm vegan. I'm on this diet. Tay got me fasting, so I can't really eat nothing crazy. Damn, I'm getting anxious. I'm getting nervous. Because what am I going to do in this next business meeting? And guess what? You take your little nervous, anxious ass in there and you order crunchy and salty food with the person who you are meeting that night. All right. That's how it happens. And then if you're a client of mine, you hit me up, you're like, Tay, I cheated last night. I had a little something salty and crunchy. And I usually know what it is, especially if you talk long enough and I kind of dissect what you're saying, but that's what it is. So every situation is going to create some type of emotion. And that could be good or bad. That could be good or bad. You may be meeting a group of friends, and all your friends are married. Okay, I'm just giving you all scenarios so that you can really think about what's uh, right for you, because everybody's going to have their own individual way to approach this thing. Some of you are going to meet friends, and your girlfriends from college or high school, whatever, childhood. But guess what? You're the only one that's not married in the group. Or maybe you are. Let's flip the script. This is how crazy this stuff gets. Maybe you're the only one that's married out of all of your friends. And you know that they're going to talk shit about you. Or not, and not in a bad way, but they're just going to kind of make you feel bad. Like, girl, we ain't got nobody, we ain't married. You lucky over there. That's going to make you either anxious, nervous, or angry. Okay? So while you out with your girlfriends, what happens? You're going to reach for something crunchy. Usually they're going to bring bread. If you go to a nice restaurant, they're going to bring bread before you eat. Or, because I've seen both, they're going to bring tortilla chips and salsa. Okay? And guess what? Both of those are crunchy. And in many cases, you get that salt out and you put it in that oil. If you got the bread, you take that salt and put it in there. You want salty and crunchy. Okay? You see where I'm going with this? And we don't know it's happening because it happens so fast, or it's just kind of like this thing that's in the background. But I promise you, there is a link to everything you're doing. So I'm just trying to give out all these scenarios because I know I'm missing something. But I want everybody to kind of hear these different scenarios and see how, if you break it down, it's always going to have a link to an emotion, and each emotion is going to link to a craving that you're having. So I hope this makes sense. All right. I didn't say this earlier. Of course, if anybody has any questions, hit me up. We'll talk about that when this is over with, which is almost over. Now, most of you have already seen this before. Excuse me. I just wanted to keep this in here for everybody else. Okay. Because many of us are here, or many of you are here because we're trying to lose weight. Okay. For my clients, y'all know I'm trying to lose weight too. So we're all trying to lose weight. How do we lose weight? Okay, by keeping insulin levels low. So in many cases, when someone's craving sugar because somebody's not appreciating them at work or in the family, what we do is we snack. And this is why I made this. Okay, well, this is why I kept this up here. We snack. We have, some of you think you're doing great with your snacks, which, I mean, you are. I'm not going to take that away from you. But you're not doing what you think you are, which is losing weight or causing you to lose weight. So I hear a lot of people say, well, I just snacked on a handful of, almonds. I just had a handful of nuts. That's all. But what you don't realize is not the calories that's really bothering you. It's not the calories at all in many cases. It's the insulin response. Because in many cases, those nuts are going to be flavored, seasoned, salty, crunchy. Once again, okay? So you're nervous and you're salty or you're mad. So you go for the nuts. Okay. You go for the almonds. I'm sorry, I can't keep saying nuts. I'm childish. I'll be honest. All right. So you go for something that's salty and crunchy. So you start eating these snacks, and guess what? You bump up your insulin. And then you want some more snacking. So you bump up your insulin. And in many cases, I've seen people do this all day. So while this is high, there's no fat burning going on. As soon as you stop eating, i.e. when you sleep, that's when you start burning fat. But many of us can't stay in this long enough because we only sleep 5-6 hours a night. So you're not getting you're not getting much, if any, fat burning, just simply because you're doing too much of the green and not enough of the blue. So, and I know it's hard because when you're emotional, that's the hardest thing to do is fast. When you are feeling some kind of way, the hardest thing to do is fast. I know, trust me. Okay. I have been there. So what I would like you all to do, and this is just for everybody, what I would like you all to do to keep those insulin levels low. Most of you all who work with me, I'm usually suggesting you do, sometimes I say 48, but 72, up to 72 hours plus, twice a week. Okay. So in many cases, I'd like to see you all go 48 eat, 48 eat, 48 eat. Or 72 eat, 72 eat, 72 eat. Until you get where you need to be or get to a good point. I have here 45 pounds down. If you get 45 pounds down in 2 months, I mean, it's safe to say pretty much everybody here, if you lost 45 pounds, you pretty much be creeping up to the place where you want it to be. Like, oh, 45 pounds, good. So now we can start slowing it down. You don't have to keep going as aggressive. And this is my whole argument with everybody who, not everybody, but I get some people who come in and who will ask me, is 72-hour fast twice a week, is that sustainable? Absolutely not. No. But guess what? We're not here for sustainability right now. I got to get you a result first and then slowly get you to a sustainable way of living, right? So it's going to take us some time. So you start with the 48 hour or with the 72 hours, then we go to 48. So you go 48 once or twice a week, okay? You're going to get off another 10 or 20. Now, that other 10 or 20 that we're getting off is the last little icing on the cake, okay, if you will. It's the last little bit. So if most of us lost 45 pounds, it'll put us to a point where we're like, oh, I see what I can be now. Like, I see my shape. I see what I can actually do. But then it usually, in most cases, not everybody, then they're like, I just need a little more. Most people, they're like, I just need a little more. So that's what that 10 or 20 pounds is. You lose that last 10 or 20 so you get your abs coming in or whatever it may be. So you do the 48 hours once or twice a week, get your last 10, 20 off. Then you drop down to where you do one 48-hour fast a week with OMAD, okay? So 1 meal a day. So what that means is 5 days a week, you just eat 1 meal a day. And then you go into a 48-hour fast and you'll come back out of that. This is once you're pretty much done. You're pretty much at your weight loss. Like, you're done. You like what you look, or you like how you look, you're good, okay? So that's when, once again, you see we go here. Weight loss starts to taper off because now we're starting to eat more frequently. Now, this is where most people mess up. And I always give you all who are working with me, I always give you all discounts to stay with me because I'm trying to get you to this point. Most people leave me here. They're like, oh, I got 40 pounds down. I'm out. Or, I got 40 pounds down. I can't afford it no more. I'm like, shit, like, I got to get you here. This is where I'm trying to get most of you. If I can get the last 10, 20 pounds off and start to taper you off to where we get to a sustainable way of living, I can keep your weight loss for the rest of your life. Like seriously, we can keep it that way. The only way you would gain the weight back is to go back to old habits. That's where most people, they do a diet, not a lifestyle. And then they go back to their actual lifestyle that made them overweight or made them sick with diabetes or whatever else it is. And that's how you gain the weight back. I just wanted to put this here because this is an emotional thing too. Many people lose their weight and they start getting emotional because they're like, I don't want to gain it back. I look great. I don't want to gain it back. And then the emotions get out of control right around here. And then they go the opposite way. So this is where I want to get most of you all, especially if we can get to the OMAD with caloric macro manipulation based on scale feedback. All right. If I can get you here, then we're really rocking, because now what we would do is play with your calories and we would just keep taking them up and down based on what the scale's doing. So I give you a week. If I had you fasting all, this whole time, and now you're doing a meal a day every day, but I say, hey, get full. Whatever that looks like, just eat until you're full in that 1 meal a day. So some people could probably do 3,000 calories. Let's eat those 3,000 calories. Let's see what the scale does. In a week, you might gain 2 pounds. Most of you all would freak out. Oh my God, I'm gaining weight. Slow your roll. It's all good. Okay. What we would do then, we would know that 3,000 calories is just a little too much. So I taper you back to 2,800. Okay. This is that real discipline, slow, like nobody really wants to do this part, but this is how you maintain your weight loss. So I would taper you back slowly. So the next week you do 2,800 calories. Guess what? I didn't gain any weight. I stayed right around the same. Great. 2,800 calories is what you need to eat. as long as you stay within 2,800 calories for the rest of your life and you eat in a small 1 to 2 hour window, you are going to keep the weight loss for the rest of your life. Okay. And you can even start to split it up open a little bit. Instead of doing 1 to 2 hour window, you can slowly start to go to an 8 hour window, still eat 2,800 calories. So you can start to split it open a little bit so you can have a little, some of y'all want to chill and go to brunch with your girlfriends. I get it. It's all good. All right. But you still got to be mindful of what's going on. Girl, I got to keep my figure. All right. I just paid the vegan trainer to get me down. I don't want to lose it what he got me. So I got to, so only give me one mimosa. Okay. So this is, look, she's like 2. but see, that's what it's all about. At the end of the day, and you could do your 2, but you would have to be clean the rest of the week. Or I have some people, see, it's a give and take, right? It's like, damn, like what, but it's a give and take. It's like, okay, well, if you want 2, then the rest of the week got to be flawless. So that's what we would call something like a Sunday fun day, where you just do whatever you want that day and then you get back to being clean. Or you have another approach. This is kind of how my wife is. She actually does more so of a nibble effect. So instead of having 2 mimosas on a brunch date, she'll have like half of one today, half of one tomorrow. You know what I mean? And then, so she got to kind of turn up for a couple days instead of turning up all the way every day. So she can kind of, tweak it. So it's kind of up to you. I would rather go hard, get you 2 mimosas, get you some waffles, some pancakes or whatever. Enjoy that day. That's how I do it. I enjoy my day and then I'm back to my clean lifestyle. That's how you do it. I mean, just to maintain. So we're talking about walking around sexy as a mug. You walking around sexy. You got your weight lost. You look good. You feel good. You're healthy internally. And you get to turn up a little bit. It's a good give and take, right? So that's how it's done. What most people go wrong with, like I said, is we'll have those 2 mimosas 5 times a week. Like we go all the way in, and it's like, you can't do it. And I like to compare it to a bank account. I don't care how much money you got. Well, I know some people who wouldn't run out of money, but that's not any of us. Okay. So like a bank account, when you go to the mall, you can't just swipe the card away. Swipe. I'm going to get whatever I want. You got to be careful so you don't go broke. Right. Well, it's the same way. When we eat and we making ourselves gain weight, we're going broke, if that makes sense. So that mimosa or the waffles and the pancakes, that's like swiping your card. And every time you eat one, you're swiping the card. And it's like, well, shit, how much, what's my budget? Like, you got to know your budget. What's my budget for these mimosas? What's my budget for these waffles? And that is how we do it. Okay. That's how you get it done. So when you are feeling emotional, when you are feeling some kind of way and you want to go out with your homegirls for brunch, this is how you can do it. Girl, I ain't, this man is, he taking me through there. Or I'm going to use men for example too. Man, she's spending all my money or whatever it is. He feeling some kind of way. She ain't loved on me in weeks. Like, man, I'm craving sweets. Okay, great. You're craving sweets. Enjoy them that day and get back to the plan. That's how it works. This is how you can give in to those emotions and still get your weight loss, in most cases. Some of you all are different. All right. Some of us have to be a little bit more disciplined over time until we get off that hard, or that, I don't want to say hard, that tenacious, that's the word. Until you get off that tenacious 40 pounds, then you can start kind of playing around with your mimosas and things like that. All right. So this is what we're talking about. Why fasting is important. This is another slide that I left up there because I wanted you all to see this. Why fasting is important is because what we talked about earlier, we got to keep the insulin down, of course. You're going to burn more fat. You're going to produce ketones, eliminate waste, especially your emotional waste, your trauma. Okay. And it's also going to help with loose skin. This is something that I always try to talk about because most of you all ask me about loose skin. Whether you've had a child and you have that loose skin around your belly button area, or whether you're losing more than 50 pounds and you're afraid that you're going to have a lot of droopy skin. If you are doing I don't want to say this live, but I guess I have to. If you're doing a dry fasting routine, okay, I don't like people to dry fast on their own. I just keep it real. All right. I see my lady with that green juice. That's what I'm talking about. See, I be watching y'all. You don't think I'm watching you. I'm watching. But many of you all are asking, how can I deal with the loose skin? There's going to be a dry fasting routine we can do. And some of you all are kind of playing with the dry fasting. This is how we get rid of the loose skin. Okay. I usually only suggest, 2 days tops of a dry fast. All right. I do 24 to 48 hours myself of dry fasting. This is how I don't have any loose skin. Now, this wasn't my starting weight. Okay. I'll be honest. This is not where I started. I started at 310. All right. 312. I got real skinny, and then I built this body you see here, and then I leaned out. So that's what that is. So just in case you're wondering, it was my 300 pounds was not this solid. I'll say that. I was soft, very soft, and shorter. Okay, I'm about 6'3". When I was 320, or when I was 312 pounds, I was not 6'3". I was about 5'9", 5'10". Right, didn't look good on me. So that's pretty much what I want to share with you all on that level. So I know I got questions. Like I said, I wanted to make this short. I want to answer those questions that I see coming in. I ain't forgetting about y'all. I just want to let everybody know we start on the 4th. Okay, so I just want to give you all that update. We start on the 4th, the God Body Challenge. It starts once the 4th is here, March 4th, which is Monday. Once it gets here, do not hit me up talking about I still want to join the challenge. It will be shut down. All right. So just know, if you're not in by then, you're not getting in. Okay. I'll do another one later. Who knows when, but I'll do another one later. But I just want to let you all know. I try to keep reminding y'all because I get people who get mad at me if I don't remind them, or they get mad because they missed it, and then they also get mad at me because I won't make an exception. Oh, just let me slide in there. No, you have plenty of time. All right. Oh, that sparkling water is heavenly, especially when you're doing a dry fast. Man, that sparkling water gets you. Also, today is the last day for this one and the 8-week, just in case you wanted to know. Actually, an email just went out. You probably just got it, okay? While we were doing this, an email that just went out that says the 8-week ends tonight at 11 o'clock. Yes, it just went out. So at 11 o'clock, that's it, okay? For this deal and the 8-week deal. Most of my clients who want to continue on, y'all have already taken care of it. Good job. Proud of you all. Because, I want to keep you as long as possible so we can get those results. But anybody who might be seeing this who is not a client, you got about 4 hours. That's it, all right? And we're done. So let's get into here and answer some of these questions. Let's see what we got. I'm grieving all my junk food. Yeah, day 4 of my fast. Hey, we all go through that. Trust me. All right, so it's all good. But look, you've been doing good. You and your friend. All right, I ain't gonna mention no names, but you and your friend been doing good. I'm proud of y'all working out together. That's what I'm talking. It's about teamwork, right? Keep up the good work. Let's see. Can you talk about how to keep weight off without fasting? So that is a great thing. Now, there's a few reasons why I don't talk about keeping weight off while or without fasting. Why is that? Because in many cases, I just want to say this, in many cases, people don't want to fast just simply because it's not convenient. And it's not convenient because of either a social reason, emotional reason, or I just want my food. I want to eat more than once, a day. I don't want to fast. So those are only 3 reasons why people don't want to do the fasting, to keep the weight off. And on the other side of that, I never teach about keeping the weight off without fasting, simply because that I stick to the science. Scientifically, that is the best way to live. Fast a little bit, eat, feast, famine. That's what we do. But there is a way to do it. It's not ideal. I try to focus with the excuse me. That bubbly water makes me burp. I try to focus on the optimal. That's what I'm trying to say. The optimal way of doing it. So the least or the less optimal way to keep weight off while also not fasting, or kind of just getting away from fasting, is to keep carbs super low. And this is why I don't like this one, because I can give you more carbs. We can do some beans and some black bean burgers, some French fries, some pizzas every now and then, and keep the weight off easier if we fast. Why? Because we'll still be getting in and out of ketosis. That is the key. This is what I always tell you all. You see me on Instagram and you see I eat 600 grams of carbs, but I'm in ketosis the next day. And people are like, how are you doing that? Because I'm only eating that 600 grams of carbs in a small window. This is why fasting is ideal. That's why I say that. So when somebody says, well, how do you do it without fasting? Well, it's not ideal, because now I can't enjoy those foods that I really want to have. I can't have the beans and the rice and a lot of fruit. I can't do all of that because I'm going to gain weight. It's going to come back. Or I'm going to have to drop the carbs, and I'm going to have to eat frequent meals while keeping the carbs fairly low. Fairly. You can still get away with some carbs and keep the weight off, yes. But in many cases, that's how that works. So yes, you can keep the weight off without fasting. However, it's less ideal. That's what I'm saying. Because like I said, when I get people bone dry, lean, like they got abs, they can see the abs. When I get people to that point and they still fast for 20 hours a day in that 4-hour window, I don't care what you eat. In many cases, I can keep that weight off of you. So I've had people, these are your people who go to the, I'm gonna have some pizza and some ice cream. Now you don't eat in a caloric surplus. You still gotta watch your calories. But in many cases, they can usually eat what they want and stay lean, because they've been in ketosis. They've been burning body fat for 20 hours. That 4 hours, it's not gonna bother them. But if we've been doing that all day, same thing. I showed you all the insulin levels, how it would go up and go down and then go up. If you eat all day, or if you eat frequently, then that insulin spike stays up. You never start digging into fat. So that's kind of why I do it that way. But yeah, you can eat more frequent, and you just gotta watch your carbs. Questions: what is the fastest way to get rid of visceral fat? Fasting. That's why I got most of y'all fasting. Visceral fat is going to come off the easiest. It's not easy at all, so I don't want to throw that word around, but it comes off more efficiently through fasting, especially the extended fast. So if you're doing things like more than 48, 72 hours, when you get into autophagy, that's when you start digging into the visceral fat. So that's a good question. What's up, Kelvin? Fasting with water and sea moss, okay, or is there a need for other minerals? No, that's good. That's perfect. If you got your magic moss, you said sea moss. So I'm not sure if you got just the sea moss or if you got the magic moss. If you're doing just sea moss, it still has your good minerals in there, but you're gonna miss some, which is why I would suggest adding some other stuff like kelp, dulse, bladderwrack. You can even do the chlorella. Ugh, I don't know why I always trip over that. Like we do, and then of course we throw in some burdock root and dandelion root to keep the liver detoxifying. This is how we also get rid of the visceral fat, or stop the accumulation of more visceral fat, because we're trying to keep the liver clean and filtering the toxins, so you don't have to rely on the fat cells to do so. So that's why we're doing all of that. Let's see. How long should we actually be in the program to get maintenance? Now, to get to the maintenance phase, in many cases, all depends on you. Why do I say that? Because in many cases, I can get you down as fast as we need to, but people cheat. I cheated on my diet multiple times. So you play this down 10 pounds, up 5 pounds, down 10 pounds, up 5 pounds. So you play this game. So it takes longer sometimes. So kind of like I say with everything, it's up to the individual. I don't know. I don't know how long it's going to take because it's up to the individual. Now, if I had a perfect client, if any of you all are trying to be a perfect client, if you were a perfect client and you had more than 40 pounds to lose, you would fast 48 to 72 hours and only eat once in between the fast. So once again, you always hear me saying this, and I will never stop because it's one of the best routines. You're going to fast for 48, eat, fast for 48, eat. If you got more than 40 pounds to lose, fast for 72, eat, fast for 72, eat. You're going to do one of those routines until you like what you see in the mirror. So with that being said, if I had a perfect client who did that routine, 2 months, I can get 40 pounds off you in 2 months. If you only have 40 to 50 pounds to lose, 2 months is all I need if you follow that routine. Okay? And 9 times out of 10, if you follow that routine, you're probably going to win the $500 too. Because ain't nobody going to beat you. I promise you. If you go 48, eat, and you're doing your cardio and stuff, like, you still burning some fat, nobody going to keep up with you. No one is going to be able to keep. That routine is flawless. I'm telling you. I've seen it work too many times. So if anybody here wants to be perfect, 48, eat, 48, eat, 48, eat. Just keep going until you hit your goal. Once you get, you're gonna look at the mirror and go, this is it. When you say that, we can stop. We can slowly start going the other way. So I just gave the cheats to the test. All right. I just gave all the answers to the test. Feel free to swipe those. All right. Let's see. Does a regular fast produce the same results, or do we need to dry fast to help with this? No. Water fasting, I'll break it down. Water fasting is great, but it doesn't produce the same results as a dry fast. Why is that? Because when you're drinking water, you're staying at least hydrated. So there's a such thing as being fat adapted, and there's also such thing as being water adapted. What does that mean? If you dry fast, where do you get your fluid? From the fat cells. So you got to break down fat twice as much to get water and energy. If you're just water fasting, you're just needing energy. And if you're not using energy, some people are like, oh, I didn't work out, but I fasted and I didn't lose that much weight because you're not using the energy. Fat is just energy. So if you didn't work out, of course, you're not using the energy. You're chilling. So with that being said, I personally dry fast, and you all are seeing the results. I'll pull them up right now. Okay, I weighed in today. So I'm gonna show you. Okay, so you'll see here. I went off on a tangent over a week. I gained about 7 pounds almost. So I'm up 7 pounds. I really wish you could see the date, but anyway. This is the day for all of my clients. This is the weight I sent you all. Go away notifications. All right. This is the date I sent you all that picture and said I gained a lot of weight because I've been emotional eating. Okay. So you see that from here? It went up to here. But guess what? In 2 days, boom, I'm down almost 10 pounds in 2 days. Yeah. Dry fast. All right, that's how you do it. And why? Once again, because when you dry fast and you do a little cardio, so I'm just doing a little chill on the elliptical. I'm not doing a lot. I'm not sprinting. I'm not jumping rope. Nope, I'm chilling, hanging out. I don't break a sweat. I'm just chilling. All right, but guess what? I'm dry fasting, so now my body needs energy to do the elliptical. Okay. And it also needs water so that I can stay hydrated throughout the day. So it pulls both from fat cells. This is how I break down fat really fast. And guess what? I'm fairly lean. I'm not supposed to be able to lose this much weight that fast, but you can. You just got to hack the system. You got to know how to hack the system. So I dry fast, and I'm going to keep doing it. Guess what? I'm going to finish this. Hopefully by 8:30, I start a new dry fast at 8:30. All right. right there. So I'm dry fasting, eat, dry fast, eat. Same thing I'm telling y'all to do. And you can do water or dry fast, but I'm fasting, eat, fast, eat, fast, eat. Guess what? I can guarantee you in about 2 weeks, I'll be down about 20 pounds. That's just because I know how to do that. Okay. Everybody don't need to follow my lead. But if you do that fast eat routine, I promise you, you can get the results you want. All right. Fast eat. Down 10 pounds almost in 2 days, 3 days, because we're getting ready to go into tomorrow. But I'll be down a little bit more tomorrow. So we'll see how that looks. So this is what I wanted to teach you all. Okay. This is what I want to tell you all. It's possible. So you can burn fat either way, though. So I don't want to make it seem like the water fast is trash. It's still good. Are people in the 8-week program automatically ended? Yes. If you are my client, like if you got walkie-talkie access to me, you are in the God or Goddess Body program already. So you have the ability to win $500 too. Okay. So you don't have to worry about signing up. If you got walkie-talkie access to me, you are in already. Okay, so don't worry about that. Let's see what else we got. You're killing me every time you take a drink of that bottle. I'm sorry. I think you dry fasting right now too. I'm sorry. Look, that water's pretty good. I'll be honest. It's pretty good. I've been really gassy while fasting. What is that about? In many cases, a gassy feeling. If you're not eating, we know it's not what you're eating. So in many cases, what's happening is your body's starting to release a lot of the fat cells, and that could be some kind, right? So so what happens when we release fat cells? There's a whole host of things that can go on. Gas. We talked about like the feeling bad because you're releasing trauma. We talked about craving pizza. So if you ate pizza 10 years ago and it was stored as fat, and now you're breaking that fat cell down, you might have all of a sudden a craving for pizza because you're burning that fat cell that had the pizza in it, the pizza DNA in it, okay, or the makeup of it. I don't like to say DNA. It sounds like human, like you ate a human. But that's what I'm getting at. When you burn through fat cells, there's a lot of things that can happen because whatever is in that fat cell, you could be utilizing that and it could be released into the bloodstream. So that's one. Okay. Same thing that's going on it's going on in the bloodstream, but it's also going on in the colon and the intestines. So the gas could be coming from that area as well. So you just gotta know that when you fast, especially more than 24 hours, there could be a whole host of things going on because your body's kind of undoing itself. It's like, it's trying to fix itself. So gas, I've seen headaches, grogginess, lethargic, rash. I've seen a lot of stuff because, like I said, toxins are being released into the bloodstream. So you, in many cases, whatever, I don't know how toxic you are. Okay. So it just depends. She said that face. That's right. Matika said, does the 48, 24-hour interval fasting work with water and magic moss, or does it work with dry fasting? It works with both. Yeah. Dry fasting is just more aggressive. And it's, to be honest, and I'm just keep it real with you. Dry fasting is aggressive for fat loss. But if you're going to do a 72-hour fast, I'd rather you water fast because it's more aggressive for fat loss than dry fasting is. Dry fasting is more so for healing. And I do dry fasting because I want maximum amount of internal healing that I had. I'm not trying to necessarily heal anything, but I want to keep my internals on point. So I dry fast for that reason and that reason only. I can still water fast and probably get the same results as far as the scale, maybe a little bit less. Dry fasting still can be a little more aggressive in many cases. But if you're going to go extend it more than 48, the water fast is probably going to be better because you'll be able to work out. Because when you dry fast, past that 48 hours, you're like, I ain't working out today. So if you want to work out still to burn the maximum amounts of fat, the water fast is actually where it's at. Make sure you get your electrolytes. Okay, we always talk about that. Make sure you get your electrolytes, because if you're not getting your electrolytes, you're probably kicking out more potassium and or potassium, magnesium. You're kicking all of that out. You're gonna get refeeding syndrome. We're gonna have a problem. All right, I can tell you that now. So make sure if you're going to do the water, make sure you get your electrolytes in. Do you lift, etc., on dry fast or cardio only? Me personally, I do everything. Every day I do cardio and lifting. Every day, 7 days a week. But I do it moderately. Okay, this is another hack that I talk about. Reason why is because I like to take everything back to, like, the old days. We'll say that. If I was to work on a farm and I had to, I had to go pick up stuff and move stuff around, guess what? Ain't no off day on no farm. You got to get up every day. And if you got 20, 30, 40 pounds of water to carry across 100 yards, you're going to pick that water up and you're going to go, go where you need to go. If you need to garden or need to do whatever it may be, you're going to have to get up and do that day. And when I was coming up, we always had those, we called them farm strength or like the farmer strong boys who were just farmer strong. Like they didn't lift weights, they were just naturally strong. And we used farmer strong as a reference. Well, the reason farmers are known to be that strong is because they use their muscles every day as God intended us to, okay? So if you got muscles, you're probably supposed to be using them every day. So I walk every day or I do some form of cardio and I lift every day. That's just how I do it. And whether I'm fasting, this week I've done a 48-hour dry fast and a 30-hour dry fast. And every day I was working out and lifting weights. So yeah, you can get away with it, whether you're doing water fast or dry. You just gotta be careful to listen to your body when you feel like I don't really feel like doing this today. Not being lazy, but you got to know the difference between I'm lazy and I don't feel like doing this today versus, oh crap, like I don't have much in me like to go. So you got to know the difference. But she said, I'm scared of that damn dry fast. As you should be. Dry fasting is not something easy. Seriously. Like, I'll be honest with you, it's not an easy thing. You should be very afraid. You should be very afraid. All right. So I say that not to be afraid to do it, but be afraid going into it, meaning tread lightly. Okay. Make sure you talk to me. Make sure you hit me up on that walkie-talkie. I need to know what you're doing so I can walk you through it. Okay. What do you eat today to break your dry fast? So today, when I broke my dry fast before I ate anything, I had coconut water with green. I give y'all the same shit I do with green juice powder. Okay. Most of y'all are like, are you making us do something different? No. I broke my fast with coconut water. And I tell you all to get, my back is itchy. I tell you all to get Organifi green juice because that's what I use. Okay. It gives you all your micro and macro nutrients that you need. So all your greens and everything are in that. Of course, I take a host of amino acids as well because I'm trying to keep my guns. So I broke my fast with some coconut water for electrolytes, with brewer's yeast. I talked about that in my last video for my amino acids, some branched chain amino acids. I had something else in there. Oh, Organifi, of course. And that's pretty much it. And I drank about 32 ounces of that before I ate anything. And then once I kind of allowed myself to go, oh, okay, that was good. Then I went in and I had about 2 pounds of vegetables. Like for real, I ate a lot of vegetables. Most of it was cabbage. Most of it was like a nice size head of cabbage. It was probably about that big of a head of cabbage and a few green beans and a little avocado. I forgot about that. And I had a little avocado just to get a little fat in there. But that's it. And I'm done for the day. I'm going to finish this and I'm going back to my fast. On a normal day, on a normal day, I can usually eat, or I usually do eat about 3,500 calories. But because I'm dry fasting and I'm dry fast, eat, I'm only eating like 1,200 right now. Yeah. So some of you, I get some of you ladies, especially. I had one lady, the lady who quit actually. I told her, which is fine, I'm not talking about anybody. But before she quit, she's like, "Hey, I love to eat. You got me eating 1,000 calories." I said, "Well, baby, I'm only eating 1,200. and I'm bigger than you are, and I lift more than you do, and I work out more than you. So this is how it works. So what what do you want to do? She's like, I'm a person who I love my food. And it was, and I had that conversation where I said, hey, I need you to have a real talk with yourself and say, do I like food more or do I like the results that I'm getting? And she just, unfortunately, she liked the food more, and that's okay. She liked the food more. She's like, fuck them results. I want to eat. So she went back to her food. She quit, and that's okay. That is totally fine. Um, you all pay me for results. I'm gonna get you the results, baby. All right, by any means necessary. So if you just feel like you hate me for a while, you'll hate me all the way down till you go away. All right, I'm here. You pay me to be your coach. You pay me to be hard on you, even in times when you hate me. And that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay, I'm about my results, baby. What are you doing? What results are we getting? Can you combine both, like 48 dry fast, and follow it up with a couple days of you could definitely do that. And for my people who like to juice, I'm not a big juice fan. You can also break your fast with juice and only juice, and then go back into a fast. So I've seen some people kind of do what you're saying, like they'll 48-hour dry fast, and then they'll have water, and then they'll go, they'll keep fasting. I've seen also some people have decent benefits or results with a 48-hour dry fast, and then like 2 hours of just drinking a lot of juice. And when I mean by juice, it's got to be like green juice. Like you want to make sure it's still healthy. Green juice, have some juice, and then go back into another fast. And they add water after that. So I've seen that too. So yeah, it works either way. Either way you want to do it, it can work. But I do tell people not to stick their toe in and just try dry fasting out. If you're gonna do this thing, do this thing. If not, stay with the water. It's okay. I don't want you going in and out, because then it's hard for me to keep up with what you're doing when you do that. So if you mess up some electrolytes or something, you're like, oh my God, I got keto rash, or I got, whatever. And I'm like, well, what the hell did you do? And in many cases, people don't know. They don't know how to track me back through what they did. So I try to tell people not to do this too much. I'm going to try dry fasting, and I'm going to go water, and I'm going to dry, and then I'm going to do this, and I'm going to go this way. Like pick something and kind of like stick with it for a while, see how it works. So if something does go wrong, I can come in and say, okay, well, let's tweak this. So it helps me to help. It helps me to help you, basically. So that's how we get down with that. So I'm going to go ahead and end this thing, because, like I said, I got some other stuff I got to get to with my new clients. Welcome. I know I got a lot of you all in here. So I got some. I probably got over 10 nutrition plans I got to make, and I want to get them done tonight. Right? So yeah, I got to get going. So I want to make my nutrition plans. I want to get people set up. I want to make sure people are taking their pictures tonight. So that's what I'm getting ready to do, which is why I'm ending this thing pretty early, because usually, we go for about an hour or two. But when you all come in, I don't play about my clients and my customer service. Okay, I try to answer all of my walkie-talkies in a good fashion, a good timely manner. I try to make sure everybody has their nutrition plans once they upload their pictures. I've had people who tell me, where's my plan? I say, well, where's my pictures? Shit. Where the pictures at? All right. You give me the pictures, you upload that weight, then I can make that. So I try to make sure people know, look, we ain't doing that. All right. Give me my pictures so I can see what's going on and see what I need to do with your nutrition plan. Then we can, then I can go from there. So I'm getting ready to do that. So if you just got into the program, anything, and you've hit me up on that walkie-talkie, just know I'm coming to you, okay? As soon as we get off of here, I'm getting on there. So love you all. Thanks for coming out. Hope you enjoyed tonight. See you next Thursday, baby. All right? Everybody have a great rest of your week. Peace.